السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، موعظة ونصيحة من لقمان لولده. An advice that Luqman was giving to his son. How many children Luqman has? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in Surah Luqman, وإذ قال لقمان لابنه وهو يعظه يا بني لا تشرك بالله. مواعظ للقمان عليه السلام فيها من الدروس والحكم ما لا يعلمه إلا الله سبحانه وتعالى. So much that we can learn from the advice, or one of the advices of Luqman عليه السلام, especially the one that he gave to his son in Surah Luqman. This is a different one. قال لابنه يا بني ليكن أول شيء تكسبه بعد الإيمان بالله سبحانه وتعالى أخا صادقا. After you accomplish faith, believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it settles in your heart, you understand it, you act upon it, then the next step is look for a good person who would help you continue on that path. Most deviations is because of company, who you are. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in Surah Al-Zukhruf, الأخلاء يومئذ بعضهم لبعض عدو إلا المتقين يا عباد لا خوف عليكم اليوم ولا أنتم تحزنون. أي المتقين أي هؤلاء العباد الأخلاء اللي صاحبوا بعضهم البعض في سبيل الله. كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ورجلان تحابا في الله اجتمعا عليه وافترقا عليه فهؤلاء يكونون في ظل عرش الرحمن يوم لا ظل إلا ظله سبحانه وتعالى. In Surah Al-Zukhruf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that friends are enemies to one another except the righteous ones. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's messenger, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, said, among the people who will be in the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the day of judgment, there is no shade except His, meaning the shade that He provides subhanahu wa ta'ala. Two people, two friends, they need, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yani when they call each other, when they visit each other, when they go out with each other, it's to do something good. They're united on doing good. And when they leave each other, let it be going home, it's for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How do you do that? I go with Brother Idris, for instance, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the masjid. We prayed Isha. I called him, I met him at Isha, we talked, we saw each other, we prayed, and we're going, I'll see you at Fajr. So we met for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we split, promising another obedience for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's one understanding. Another understanding, I met with him, and we are friends for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I see him doing something wrong, I tried to advise him, I tried to help him, I tried every possible way, it didn't work, then now I want to cut relationship with him. So my cutting relationship with him was not based on because of any worldly thing except because of obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what makes me leave it. So this is the advice of Luqman alayhi salam. The first thing after faith, after you accomplish the necessities in your religion, is to have a good friend who would help you in that. Just like Maryam, your wife is your friend, right? See it? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is one time, we had a sheikh, and he was talking to the youth. And he asked a question. You know, everybody's sitting and you don't expect the Sheikh to come and ask something like that. And he said, who has a girlfriend? Raise your hand if you have a girlfriend. I mean, everybody was looking, and it's like, and I went, oh, stop. Sheikh Hasan have a girlfriend? I said, yes. I said, really? I said, yes, my wife. She's a girl. She's my friend. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and we just recited the ayah. What's the word that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used in the surah? صاحبتي يوم يفر المرء من أخيه وأمه وأبيه وصاحبته يعني زوجته. Subhanallah. So when you get married, you know, companions, they love money too. Everybody likes money. But it's what for you like it and how much you want it, and does it take you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? That's the question. They came to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, Ya Rasulullah, ayyul mali nattakhid? What kind of money should we work? Or how we earn money through trade, we earn it through business, we earn it through professions, we earn it through many different ways. So which profession is a good profession to earn money? Look at the question and look at the answer. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam قال ليتخذ أحدكم قلبا شاكرا ولسانا ذاكرا وامرأة صالحة تعينه على أمر دينه. They're asking about money. And look at the answer. Let one of you or each one of you have a grateful heart and a tongue that remembers and praises Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and glorifies Him constantly, and a righteous wife to help you get to Jannah. That's cash. Raise your hand if you think when you get married, you get rich. You see? Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, you get rich. Or he answered how to get money. He said, marry a righteous woman. Conclusion, righteous women, they bring money and or better than money. Okay, you're a rich man. And your wife is a miserable woman. When you go home, you cannot enjoy the money, you cannot go together, you cannot have fun with them. What's the point of the money? And versus you don't have much money, and your wife is so content. You sit together in the backyard, you put some zayt and za'atar, you know, if you're from Palestine, from Egypt, I don't know much of a food, a cup of tea or something like that. Beautiful life. Why? Because you have a content wife. She's not looking. Because you see, when you have in your life a goal for this world, you never be satisfied. Whatever you have, you want something more. And you never, ever accomplish what you want, because you always find something better than what you have. And that is one. So a good friend is the same way. You are at home a certain period of time, and you go out long period of time too. So if you have a good friend, this is the advice. Look what he said, how he puts it. He said, فَإِنَّ مَثَلُهُ كَمَثَلِ شَجَرٍ. The example of that friend is like a tree. And how is the example? He said, إِن جَلَسْتَ فِي ظِلِّهَا أَضَلَّتْ. A tree. You sit under the shade of the tree. You think the tree is going to tell you, get out of here? You got it. You're going to get the shade. And then he said, وَإِنْ أَخَذْتَ مِنْهَا أَطْعَمَتْكَ. You reach to get some of the fruit. You think the tree is going to tell you, don't touch me? You're going to eat it. وَإِنْ لَمْ تَنْفَعْ لَمْ تَضُرْ. And if it doesn't benefit you, it's not going to harm you. It's not going to cuss you. It's not going to run after you. It's not going to hit you. It's not going to do anything. Such is a good friend. Of course, we know that from the hadith of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, مثل الجليس الصالح وجليس السوء. A bad friend and good friend. Good friend is like someone selling perfume. What possibilities you have standing next or inside a shop of someone who sells perfume? Possibility number one, you smell good. Possibility number two, you might give me a sample. Of course, there's a goal behind it. Just like drug dealers, what do you think? Most people get hooked on drugs. How? They give them, try it and test it and force and everything free, and then after that, hey, gotta pay. And then you're hooked on it, and you smell good, you might get a sample, or you might buy it. Now sit next to a blacksmith, it stinks, and you're gonna stink, or you're gonna get burned, your clothes or something. So this is friends. Bad friend, just if he doesn't harm you, the reputation that you have, that you're hanging with a bad friend, is enough bad thing to do. And a good friend, he's going to advise you, he's going to help you, you're going to maybe advise him, and so it's hasanat here. In worst cases, he's not going to harm you. I will conclude with a wonderful thing between the big scholars. We have examples, we say Imam Ahmad, Imam Shafi'i, Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik, great scholars, we learn from them, but we want to follow their footsteps. We're not here to just Qala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Qala Allah Ta'ala and in real life. No, I expect you, people coming to the masjid, to see all the good manners. I expect you to smile all the time to each other, to shake hands with each other, to visit each other, to love each other, to congratulate each other, this is expected from you. If I don't see it from you, I'm not going to look for someone who comes every Friday or every Eid or something like that. If we cannot accomplish that, then we have a problem, really. So we want to be that. I want to give you an example here. Imam Ahmad rahimahullah got sick. Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah is his student also, not also just a friend or a scholar or a knowledgeable person, he's also a friend. He's his student, he learned from him. So Imam Shafi'i went to visit Imam Ahmad. When he saw Imam Ahmad really in pain, Imam Shafi'i became sick. Brother Siddiq is probably going to say, oh, Ada. No, brother, it's not contagious. The disease that he was sick with is not contagious, so take that idea off of your head. He became sick, worrying about his friend. When he saw him so much in pain, he felt so bad for him, he became sick. Sick to the point that he's at home. And you know how before, a person is sick, how? Doesn't come to Jama'ah. That's how people visit each other. It's like, why is not in Jama'ah? It's Isha time, okay? How many times you miss someone at Isha and you call them? Don't answer. We don't even know who prays next to us. You know his name, brother? You know his name?
I will.
You will, inshallah. He visited him, he became sick. Now, Imam Ahmad heard that Imam Shafi'i is sick. So he put himself together, even though he was sick, and he went to visit Imam Shafi'i, rahimahullah. Imam Shafi'i, when he saw him, listened to that, because he's, mashallah, Imam Shafi'i, with poems and lines, and he's awesome. Look what he said. فَلَمَّا رَآهُ الْإِمَامُ الشَّافِعِي قال مرض الحبيب فزرته فمرضت من أسفي عليه. مرض الحبيب, my beloved friend, my beloved brother became sick. So I visited him. I became sick because I got so worried about him. Now look what he said. شفي الحبيب فزارني فشفيت من نظري إليه. My beloved friend is healed. So he visited me. I became healed just by looking at him. Now, Niyah Murtaba, put him together. He visited someone sick he loves. He became sick. The same person who is sick came to visit him, which is a sign that he's not sick anymore. That made Imam Shafi'i heal. Look at love, and look how you understand it, and you put it in the context where he felt for him. When he was feeling bad, Shafi'i is feeling bad. When Ahmad feeling good, Imam Shafi'i is feeling good. That's the true love. And that's what we say when you accomplish faith, it's not just brother. You know, brother. You know, we see that word brother, brother, brother. Does it really stand for what it means? لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. We only say that and apply it when we are angry, or when you see your brother not doing something. But do you really put it in real life, in practice? This is how Imam Shafi'i puts it. That's how you feel with your brother. You celebrate when they're happy. You celebrate with them. You are sad when something strikes them and becomes sad. And at the same time, you don't let them down. You don't let them down. If they need your help, whether it is financial or physical or any way, you don't let the person down. If you feel this way, inshallah, you would fulfill the true brotherhood as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants it. And I ask you, Allah, I ask a question to many people. I mean, how many friends do we have? How many friends do you have? Raise your hand if you have an iPhone. Samsung is not, it's cheap stuff. iPhone, how many people have? You don't have iPhone, brother? Alhamdulillah. Your contact list, which we call friends, how many you have, approximately? Over 100?
About 75, 80.
75, 80. When something happens to you bad, how quick you pick one from those 75 and you dial him and you expect he's going to help you?
About 5, 6.
5, 6? You have a lot of good friends.
I'm
Wallahi,
moving.
I guarantee you,
I'm
most
moving.
of us, I guarantee you that they will scroll down the list once and twice and 3 times and over. Should I call him? Should I call him? And he's going to say, no. And you probably end up with none. Or maybe if you call someone or you find someone in the bottom of your heart, you're more confident that he's going to turn you down, that he's going to fulfill your need. Why? Because our brotherhood is not good. Or our dealing with each other, it's not for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because when you do things, you do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which means you want the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not from your friend. And that's what we should work all the time for, is when you do things, do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If someone wants to borrow money from you, for instance, if you have that extra money, you give it to him and don't expect it back, even though you sign a paper with him that he's going to give it back to you. But deep inside say, khalas, for sabilillah, if he doesn't, he doesn't. You will never regret it, and you will be relaxed all the time, because you did not expect it. But if you put it and you keep flashing that paper in your face when the deadline comes, I'm telling you, man, you're going to hate that person, hate his family and his country, and probably start questioning Islam and questioning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and maybe you stop coming to the masjid and do all of those sort of things. A lot of people do that. I mean, if you don't have that strong faith, that's what shaitan would lead you to. So make sure you do things for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 1, understand your religion. Number 2, and make sure you have a good friend that you hang with all the time that helps you to be on that path. If you're not married, look for a righteous wife. If you are, you're stuck with it. So ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in sujood to straighten your wife. But before you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to straighten your wife, guess what you need to do? Ask yourself, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to straighten you, because sometimes you are the problem, not your wife. So every time I always say, carry a mirror. If now you go knock knock and your wife opens the door, screams in your face, don't scream back. Look at the mirror and say, what did I do wrong? And you'll find something that you did wrong. In most cases, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests you with your money, He tests you with your health, He tests you with one another. وَجَعَلْنَا بَعْضَكُمْ لِبَعْضٍ فِتْنَةً أَتَصْبِرُونَ? You have patience. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the patience, give us the faith. جزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم.